G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, we've got Casva, who is playing as the Blue Abbasid Dynasty. On the other side of the map, on the other side of the map, we've got Lenok, Please Build Walls, who is spawning in as the Holy Roman Empire and going to be playing in the color red. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with this player, this individual, this is actually Beastie Cutie, and he's playing on his Smurf account. So at the moment, this account ranked number 4. I think his other account, his main account, is ranked number 1. So he is, I guess you could say, relatively dominant at the moment at the top of the table. I think that currently on the ladder, you've got Beastie Cutie is number 1, Marine Lord number 2, Lenok number 3, and then Beastie Cutie number 4. And I wouldn't be surprised if Marine Lord's probably ranked 5, something like that. These guys are absolute fiends when it comes to the ladder, and I expect that we're going to see something impressive today, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got. You see he's already picked up a couple of sheep here, a nice little path that he's actually done, just going in and around the base. Only going to be doing a single prelate, a single scout. There's no second scout coming out for him at the moment. But we'll keep in mind, we'll have a look at exactly what he's doing. He's gone with the 3 villagers on gold to start off with. Going to bring the prelate down just to do a little bit of inspiration. You can see that that inspiration coming up there. Very, very nice. Now, we'll check in over with Casva and see how he is doing, because Casva, of course, for anybody unfamiliar with Casva, an incredibly talented player as well. Hailing from Age of Empires 2. I don't know if I should say hailing from Age of Empires 2. I feel like when I say hailing from somewhere, it's kind of like where they're fighting out of, like, hailing from the Republic of South Korea. Coming in at 167 pounds, 5'6", it's Lenok. Like, that's where I feel like, when I'm saying hailing, I feel like that's where it is. So Casva is, yeah, he's coming from Age of Empires 2. That's where he spent most of his gaming career. Obviously, when AoE 4 came out, he went pretty ham on it. And slowly but steadily, he's risen to the top. At the moment, sitting about rank number 43. Now, these guys, at the moment, they are preparing for Golden League. For anybody unfamiliar with Golden League is the $125,000 Age of Empires 4 event, and it'll be on this weekend. So as I'm speaking to you right now, it's probably live. So it's probably live right now, or at least going live in about an hour or so. So make sure you go check it out. I'm going to be casting there. It's going to be absolutely insanity, and I'm sure you guys will like it. But take a look at something else we might like over here. Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolutely juicy Archon Chapel we have got here. He has got a wood line, and he's got relatively deep into that wood line. He has got a deer patch. He has got berries. He has got a stone mine, if he so chooses. He has got absolutely everything, with the exception of the gold mine. The gold mine's not here, but honestly, in my opinion, I don't actually rate the gold mine being in there, other than, like, you know, the immediate feudal age. That's really it. Other than that, it's pretty irrelevant, to be honest, just because you're going to be looking to pick up those relics. Now, obviously, that's on the condition that you get those relics, because as the Holy Roman Empire, it's going to be something that you're looking for. So I'd expect that we're going to see Beastie Cutie here look to go for some sort of fast castle, whether he makes units or not. I don't know exactly what we're going to see, but over on Casva's side, Casva is kind of like GUA. I'd call him like GUA 2.0 or GUA like 0.5. I don't know. I just call him, like, you know what? I'm just going to say GUA's brother. Let's say that. He's basically Soldier. No, the reason why I say that is because they have a very similar playstyle. So it seems quite rare that Casva actually goes for a second town center. Doesn't seem to do it a lot. And not actually going to go for a wheelbarrow. So I don't know how Casva's going to play this. If we have a look at the spawns on the map, so you can see that Casva and Beastie obviously going to be looking to fight over the relics. Casva ideally going to be preventing Beastie from getting the relics. Beastie going to be trying to get at least 2 relics. So will he be able to do it? He's going to be pretty happy with this spawn. We see from Beastie's perspective here, he's got 1 relic outside his base, a 2nd relic right outside his base, 3rd relic in the middle of the map down here, looking pretty good. But at the same time, I mean, we look at Casva and he's got 1 outside his base. He's got 1 literally inside his base. He could wall that in and Beastie would never be able to grab that. So I would say it's relatively fair spawns, despite it being, like, normally the way I like to see it is 1 safe relic each, and then 3 that are, you know, relatively neutral. In this situation, it's like you've got 2 that are safe each and 1 that is neutral. And even that one that's neutral is like still a bit favored on Beastie. I mean, you can literally just go right here, bam, there it is, and then back in. So yeah, it could be nice for Beastie, but we'll see how he's doing. He's actually gathering quite a bit of food here. You can see underneath the town center, 10 villagers out. He's got 6 villagers on gold, so that's quite a heavy gold boom, and no at this stage, no early military production buildings. Now, you will see the scout moving out across the map here. He's going to be looking to pick up some information about what his enemy might be doing, whether he's looking to make some units or not, and indeed, he spots out the horseman. So that call that he does, that whistle, that goes through straight to Beastie's headset. He hears that, and he's like, okay, we got units on the way, boys. Let's get ready. So what's his reaction? It looks like it's literally nothing. He's just sticking with what he's doing. Okay, he's going to drop down a barracks. All right. He is going to drop down a barracks. A little bit delayed almost in that barracks. And he spots out two stables and an archery range. So he will know that whether there is horseman, camel archer, or horseman, archer coming out towards him. He's going to continue looping around. Ideally, what he's looking for now is stone. He wants to check the stone. He wants to see where the second town center is, or whether it's coming alive. But now on the gold mine, needs to be careful. Villagers going to be looking to go down. You can see the prelate is just going to be healing up the villager. He's not even that fussed. He's like, don't worry, guys. I think he's actually... Oh my god, he's trying to get a trap in right there. Beastie Cutie just being absolutely so smart with the way that he plays, and now comes back around, actually spots out that the stone outcropping in the base of his enemy, Casva, has been untouched. So he's very happy with this. He's very happy with this because he knows that the only real way that his enemy... You know what? The only real way that his enemy can win... I will say it. It is 3 TCs. I genuinely think in this matchup, the only way Abbasid wins is 3 TCs. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Casper knows something that we don't. Maybe Casper can pull out some early aggression. But now it looks like we've got a castle age going to be coming through soon for Beastie Cutie. You can see that the forces for his enemy Casper are slowly but steadily beginning to build. More and more spears coming down. This is going to slow down Beastie Cutie, but at the same time, I mean, he's already, he's almost on the way up to Castle Age at this point, and he's using up all of that food that's underneath his town center. Can't really use up that food, which is, oh, look at this. I just realized Casper very, very smartly. He has recognized that the Archon Chapel has been placed down within range of the hunt. So what does he do? He actually takes all of the deer and pushes them outside the range of the Archon Chapel, so that if Beastie wants to drop a mill down here, it's not going to get those buffed up. It's such a smart thing, such a cheeky way to play it. Ideally, what Beastie would then do is just look to drop a mill like right here, right on the edge, so the villagers would just come back in and then head back out. But now villagers going to be moving forward towards the berries. Age up going to be coming through for Beastie at the moment. Regnitz Cathedral going to be coming a little bit of a harassment out towards this position. You can see it was a scout that went down, and now the forces for Casper are really looking to round, and look at the macro coming out for Casper. Very, very well macroed at this point in time. Double stable, double archery range. He's got plenty of units on the way here. He is looking absolutely fine. And look at all the villagers he's got in queue. Obviously got the economic upgrade there. No wheelbarrow coming through for him. So Casper was always a guy I never really liked to get wheelbarrow. I'd be watching Casper in 40-minute games and he still wouldn't have wheelbarrow. So I don't know whether it's just, he's just got a thing against barrows, whether he's got a thing against wheels. I'm not too sure. But yeah, not a fan of them. But now going to be getting up to that next stage. 8:37, a very nice time there for Beastie Cutie. He's going to be very, very happy with that. Manages to get a wall down at the back of the wood line as well, prevent those run-throughs from coming around. But now it's going to be a siege workshop, rather, going to get thrown down here. So I'm curious to see what exactly that siege workshop is going to be doing. Is he going to be going for a mangonel? Surely not. He doesn't go for a mangonel. Relic going to be captured up towards the safer side for him. And now it actually looks like Casper is going to be putting down some outposts. So keep in mind, at this point in time, manages to actually force those the prelate back inside. But obviously, it's all about controlling the relics. Now, he knows over towards this eastern side, this is where obviously a lot of the relics are. So he's going to be looking to potentially defend that. But you can see spears now coming to push out. Not a lot of archers here in this position. Ideally, you'd like to get a couple more archers around over here, just at least enough to be able to defend this this spot, but he's going to be very happy. I suspect we're probably going to see walls coming out from Casper as well. Probably look to wall his enemy in. First relic's going to be coming in. Ideally, you want to even avoid your enemy getting that first relic, or avoid letting them get that first relic. So a wall in here would be very nice. So just walling in the relic like that would be very, very nice, but obviously it can be a bit difficult. But now that he's brought villagers forward, I mean, you've got one forward. Don't be afraid to bring 2 or 3 forward. And we do see more military now coming out for Casper. A quick stock tech reveals he's on 36 villagers at the moment, compared to only 29 for his enemy. So yeah, Beastie definitely down on villagers quite significantly, about 7. Obviously he's got prelates though. First and second prelate are both out. And we're now seeing that he's going to be sieging down the barracks. So the only barracks that he's got is obviously got the siege workshop here as well. But Wallalol going to be coming out. He's looking to bring it down towards his Regnitz Cathedral. The Wallalol manages to repel those units, and he's going to be trying to get this into the Regnitz. It looks like he's going to have to do a bit of a toss. He manages to get it inside. That's 300 gold that's going to begin trickling. Villagers need to get pulled for this Mangonel. Indeed, they do get pulled. He's going to be able to keep this one alive, and you can see the Mangonel just firing down on the archers, and they're going to be able to clean up completely. So Mangonel actually went down. What the heck? I did not realize that there would be that much damage, and now Beastie actually turning around and just doing damage with his villagers. Villagers just deciding, hey, you know what? We're just going to decide. We're just going to pull ourselves. We're going to be okay, and we're gonna look to try and take control here. So pretty smart move there. But at the same time, I mean, how much damage has been done to the economy of Beastie Cutie? He's sitting on 29 villagers at the moment. Compare that over to his enemy, who's on 39. So a difference of 10 villagers at this point. And keep in mind, Casper doesn't even have a second town center yet. He's only playing on 1 town center. Now, obviously, the first of the relics has been taken. Now, when it comes to Casper, he knows that the relics are here. He spotted out the second one in this position. He spotted out the third one in this position. And the fourth one, he knows about it as well. I would expect that would be appearing on his minimap, because you can see it's right in view just there. When it comes to Beastie's perspective, we can see that he has uncovered the entire map, with the exception of this relic. So he hasn't actually seen that one, so he still doesn't know where that final relic is, but he does know where all the others are. And looks like the arrow slits are now coming through on outposts, so the one that is most forward is definitely looking pretty strong. Now, one of the things that I mentioned earlier, and I guess we can talk a little bit about, is with the positioning of the Ark and Chapel. For anybody wondering why I don't actually mind it not being on the gold, you're not really on gold. So you basically just need enough gold to get up to the next age, get enough gold for 1 or 2 prelates, and that's pretty much it. The rest of your gold in the game is going to just be coming from your Regnitz, and that's exactly what we did see him doing. Is now switching 9 villagers over to gold. So maybe deciding, you know what, maybe we need a bit more gold in the back pocket. But Casper now looking like he has got plenty of gold over there. Might be thinking about a bit of an age up. So obviously still being very defensive. You can see him playing around with the relics. So making sure that he doesn't push too far out. At the same time, though, I guess the big thing to note is that very easily, Beastie, if he wanted to, could sneak a prelate. He could definitely easily sneak a prelate over towards this position. And in fact, I'm a little bit, not curious, but I find it a little bit... I don't know how to say it, but I'm surprised that he didn't actually go for this relic first. He went for the closest relic first. I guess he probably didn't want to lose his prelate. Maybe that was his thinking, and he was scared it would go a little bit further. But Mangonel's going to be looking to take out these outposts. So first outpost going to get taken down. You can see the siege on that is actually quite significant. 90 health. It actually just takes it out at 90 health. Oh, because it does extra damage versus building. I didn't realize that. So there you go. Mangonels do extra damage versus building. They actually do triple damage against building. So 12 versus units per shot, and 24 versus building. So a total of 36 per shot. So it means that you're doing 108 damage. Is that right? 108 damage per shot if the Mangonel shot lands. 108. Yep, seems about right, Drongo. I'll take that. It's also siege damage as well. So you can see that it isn't affected by ranged units. But now we enter into this phase where Beastie is down on walls, or down on vills. He's on 33 villages at the moment, compared to 50 for Casper. Casper now has finally added in that second town center, and he's thinking about going up to castle. He's about to click up right now, so going to be probably the culture wing, as 99.9% of people go for, and indeed it is the culture wing that he elects to go for, and actually looks to wall in his enemy completely. You can see he's still posturing down towards this south position. He's got walls up over on this side. Now, I'm pretty confident that he should be able to maintain, or the integrity of this wall should be fine, despite not actually finishing the edges. I've been noticing a little bit of a weird situation where sometimes units can get through, but now we actually see Leenock please build walls, aka Beastie Cutie, is going to be trying his best to keep his enemy out of his base. And Mangonel, got to be careful here. You can see the veteran spears now, which have come through for Beastie Cutie, are going to be defending this position. Mangonel's going to be moving out as well. A lot of damage coming out, and they actually take the the cavalry out from significant range. Prelate's also going to be moving out as well, looking to grab that relic. So if this is going to be the second relic, and ideally this is what you want to be denying. So a little bit of the consequence now coming out from Casper for not going heavily enough into military in H2 is that, well, your enemy's now going to grab a second relic. And that is, ideally, that's what you want to avoid happening. If the second relic gets captured, then you're in trouble. The third relic gets captured, and then almost certainly the game is over. But we'll see how he looks to play it, because remember, if there's a civilization that can deal with this effectively, it is the Abbasid dynasty. They have a very nice window to deal with it. So typically, it would be a mid-castle age timing is when they would deal with it. Now we see the spears looking to actually fall back or take out a significant amount of damage here against the archers. They're going to be able to be successful because that relic is grabbed. You can see the prelate did manage to escape it. Mangonel's going to be sitting back here ready to fire upon any archers. The spears have done their job, so Beastie Cutie going to be very happy with the way that has gone to plan. And now the front wall continues to get sieged down. Beastie Cutie's going to be particularly happy with the fact that he has managed to secure up those 3 relics. Honestly, from here, it feels like it's his game. And now he has lost a lot of villagers, but remember, he has got a landmark coming that is capable of printing 1,000 villages in the blink of an eye, and it is indeed the Palace of Swabia. So this might be it. I feel like at this point the game could almost just be over, but we have a 3rd town center now coming down for Casper. So Casper is behind this, really thinking about it, also going to be going for a keep as well. How many villagers are building this? 2 villagers are building this. So Beastie Cutie's going to be able to print out villages, but remember, Casper's got a really big head start on him. Casper is sitting on 69 villages at the moment. Nice. Whereas Beastie is sitting on 41. So he is currently 28 villages behind him. So let's take a look now. So how long does it take for him to actually cross that threshold? Because we're at 17 minutes now. He's down, was it 28 villages? So he's down 28 villages. How long is it going to take him to get back up? I'm going to go with like 24 minutes. They will be even. So I haven't done the math on that, but just remember, you've got 1 town center, and this guy here is the equivalent of 4 town centers. So that is 5 town centers worth of villager production. And then over on this side, Casper is going to be creating villages out of 3 town centers. So that is that. Now, he is also going to Imperial. Actually, I take it back. He's not going to Imperial. He's getting the Preservation of Knowledge. But I would be surprised if he didn't think about Imperial. Casper definitely in a very strong economic position here. Going to start also looking to clean up the berries from the middle of the map here. Oh, I just realized that doesn't actually reach this berry patch. For real? Okay, it does. It does. It's just lying to you. It's like, nah. All right, it was tricky. It was very tricky. But yeah, coming out onto the middle here, he's going to be able to clean up these berry patches. Obviously got plenty back home as well, but now you can see those mangonels have made their way through that front wall. And at the same time, we've got Beastie Cutie who is looking to wall himself up as well. So really looking to secure this position. He'll be very happy with the way that the game is going. Obviously got the villager printer out. He just plays for the late game. So what does Beastie Cutie do? 3 bombards, 6 mangonels, and a whole bunch of men-at-arms and spears. And that's how he plays the game. He can mix in lens connects as well. But that's essentially the way he's going to look to do it. And that's going to be very difficult to stop. But at the same time, Casper's going to have some good combinations that he can run. So crossbow and men-at-arms together with mangonel is going to be very strong. But already we start to see some veteran archers going to be coming out here, looking to push his enemy off these berries. So we actually see a bit of an emergency stone wall getting thrown down right now. He's got to be careful. Look at the units just bugging out there. He's trying to drop the stone wall down. Everybody's just getting in, doing a bit of a dance on top of that, but manages to drop the stone wall, get all of the connecting pieces down by the looks of it, which means that it's going to be difficult to get through, because once the stone wall is dropped, even just the little the little bit on the bottom, then that is all that you're going to need to stop your enemy from coming through. But I think there's still one little hole there. I'm pretty confident that there's like... There's one little hole here. I don't know. It just to me, it looks like there's a hole right here. Yeah, I think there's actually a hole there. You can see the villagers firing through that hole. I'm 99% sure they should just... No, but this is really weird. Why can they fire over the wall? That's so strange. I got no idea what's going on right there. But we'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll check in now with how Leenock is doing. How Beastie is doing, rather. Sitting on 77 villagers. Over on the other side, you've got 98 villagers. So he's managed to close the gap. He's down to... Was it a 21 villager difference right now? Yeah, so a 19 villager difference at this point in time. So slowly but steadily, he is closing that gap. We're at 20 minutes at the moment. What did I say? 22 minutes or 23 minutes, something like that. It is going to take time for him to get there. And now we hear a Bombard is out. Going to be working his way through that keep. And that keep going to have a tough time staying alive. It was a very... What's the word? It was a very hopeful keep to put down. But unfortunately, yes, it does seem like it is going to be going the way of the dodo. And now, finally, the villagers are going to be coming in and looking to repair up, or rather just build this this section of the wall. And now we've got Imperial coming through for Casper. So Casper going to be looking to get up to the next stage. Going to be going up with the military wing. You can see he's got agriculture and medical centers both in the queue. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to look to evolve this position, and whether he's going to look to try and play it a little bit differently in the Imperial Age. Whether he goes into a more siege-heavy composition, whether he sticks with his infantry like he is doing at the moment. So really just building a lot of archers. You can see he's thrown in a couple crossbows, a few men-at-arms, but mainly archers are the unit that he's going for. Second Bombard now going to be coming out. Needs to fall back from this position. The Springalds are going to take out the first one if he's not careful, and it looks like he's not careful. The Springalds do indeed manage to take it out, so a little bit of a frustrating point right there for Beastie, but he's going to be happy with that. Like, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal for him. He's got the Regnitz Cathedral. It's going to be empowering him up. And now Mangonel's firing over the top of the walls. They're going to be dealing very effectively with these battering rams. One of the things that is one of the great mechanics here is that the Mangonels can actually fire over the walls unimpeded. It is literally like the walls don't even exist. They just, the way they hit it, like, I mean, you see that the little ball that they fire out is actually hitting them, but, you know, their target finding works impeccably throughout the wall, and you can see the Mangonels. Do they get off one more shot? There's no way they fire down there. God, I was going to say that's like a 25 tile range. Monastery now going to be coming down here as well for Beastie Cutie. So, is he looking to get a fourth relic? Oh no, he's looking to get the upgrades for the prelates. They actually have some pretty decent upgrades, including Salt Bay. So one of the best upgrades in the game, Benediction, aka Salt Bay, improves the... or inspired villagers construct 15% faster. So really good if you're looking to drop a keep or something like that. But speaking of a keep drop, it looks like that's exactly what he's thinking about doing as he continues to push out with a nice infantry mass here, men-at-arms as well as the spears, and now looking to try and gain control of this area. You can see that the villagers going to have to cancel that keep, and he's going to have to fall back from this position. So just when you thought Leenock, aka Leenock, just as soon as you thought that Beastie Cutie looked like he was in a good position, he gets pushed back very considerably. Jeez. Tell you what, I must be getting tired. What's the time? It's 6:14 a.m. I didn't even realize the time. It is 6:14 a.m. and this keep is still not down. Jeez Louise, I can't believe I called that keep was going down and it's still not going down. Casper actually keeping Beastie Cutie in his base, sitting on 124 villagers right now. Beastie on 120, and there you go, fellas. He might not be overcoming him completely, or like overtaking him rather, but you can obviously see that when it comes to the Palace of Swabia, it is a strong landmark, but by the time you actually get it, by the time it all comes, you know, to fruition, the Abbasid player is maxed. The Abbasid player is happy. He's got 126 villagers. He's got full military population. And so the Palace of Swabia can come out. But at the end of the day, like the secret counter to this is just having Abbasid town centers earlier than what your enemy has the Palace of Swabia. So he's gonna have the Palace of Swabia, and it feels good. Now the one difference going into this late game that you might be, you know, because you guys might be looking at this and go, wow, Abbasid are amazing. Well, hold on. Hold your horses. Regnitz Cathedral. It says 600 gold a minute. That's wrong. It's actually 900 gold a minute that is coming in. I'm not sure why it says 600 gold a minute, but now it looks like a stone wall going to be coming up. Beastie going to be able to clean up this little raid that was coming through. I mean, at the same time, towards the front, he is under attack from multiple angles. You can see the battering ram does actually get cleaned up. Obviously, he was under attack over on this western flank as well. And then towards the front, I mean, right now, Casper is just pushing in at all angles. But yeah, the primary difference here is just going to be the fact that the Regnitz Cathedral is providing that 900 gold a minute passively. So there are other ways that you can mitigate that. So obviously you can look to take the sacred sites. That's 300 gold. You can look to capture up your own 2 relics. So that's 500 gold. And then you're reducing the amount that the Regnitz is doing by doing that. Or not really reducing the amount, but you're reducing the difference between you and your enemy. Because obviously you've got the same amount of villagers, 134, 135. But at the same time, he has got that Regnitz. And now Beastie, I mean, at this point in time, I feel like it's good game. But at the same time, Abbasid Dynasty late game is a very strong late game. But obviously, you guys will be familiar with Beastie Cutie. You will know exactly how good he is when it comes to the late game. But now we see counter walls coming down from Caspar. He's really looking to stonewall it up, prevent any transgressions down towards this eastern flank, and prevent his enemy from doing anything. I wouldn't be surprised if a single trebuchet just gets sent over here to slowly but steadily work its way through these walls. But we'll watch how he looks to play it. That keep does finally go down. And I gotta say, I didn't expect that this keep would last that long. And now Beastie going to be dropping down a forward keep. He wanted to do this a couple of times, but wasn't successful. The Springle's going to be able to take out the Mangonels, and now it looks like we might have ourselves a bit of a push, a bit of a battle on the middle of the map as the villagers do come out, but they're going to have a bit of trouble here because the fight is taking place on where that keep needs to go down. Second keep going to get placed down. Trebuchet's unfolding. Culverin going to be coming out as well, looking to try and tee off on the back, and indeed, it looks like it takes out the first of the Springles. Still going to be focusing it down, but look at the army mass just coming out right now from the Abbasid player. Casper doing a huge amount of work right here. Where is Beastie's army? He's sitting on 180 population, but I tell you what, it doesn't look like it. Now finally bringing out a few more reinforcements, and Beastie Cutie having a bit of a tough time. Trebuchet's diving back. He needs to throw down a potential gate to allow these guys to get through, but once again, it looks like a fallback going to be happening here. A lot of men-at-arms coming through. Elite Crossbowman is out. Only veteran archers, though, so even though this army looks formidable, it's not really. It's not really. And now Beastie definitely sitting in the pocket. He's feeling confident because this is where he pushes out. This is where he pushes out. And this is where he takes control of the map. You can see he's got 28 villagers on stone, gathering it up. He's just going to go and put castles absolutely everywhere. Villagers now moving out. You can see he's dropping down a mining camp because he wants some... I don't know. I guess he wants to mine gold in the middle of the map. I guess that's what he wants to do. Let the man do it. If he wants to mine gold, let him mine gold. Who cares about the Regnitz? He does still have the large gold vein in his base. You can see it's got 4.8k on it. He's going to be happy. I think he's just keeping his villagers busy at the moment. That's essentially it. Still yet to get the acid distillation at this point in time. But you can see just how much work he's doing. So really just a masterclass in the late game and the way that he pushes out. Using keeps to establish positions. Because keep in mind, that wasn't intentional when I said that. Keep in mind. So one of the things to remember is that when you're pushing out in a position like this, you're going to need to establish ground. If your enemy wants to challenge the keep, they're going to need some form of siege. They're going to need counterweight trebuchets. They're going to need to get, you know, a large amount of bombards and really try and deal with your keep. Otherwise, they just simply can't do it. Now, Crossbow's got to be careful. No micro really coming in at this point. When we check in on Casper, you can see he's sitting at 183 population at the moment. It's not pretty, but he is pumping units out. He's only got 20 villagers on food at the moment, and that is definitely a concern. Still yet to really transition into farms and doing some long-distance mining. Gosh, he's starting to look... This is exactly what Lucifron and Vortex look like at this point in time. So now we really see Casper trying to fight back. He's got hand cannoneers out. No chemistry upgrade. Under attack in multiple angles. You can see just units absolutely everywhere. Beastie giving him the multitask. He's in the wood line. He's over on the siege workshop. He's down towards the stone. He is just absolutely everywhere, and he is looking to try and clean this up at the same time. Let's check on what the production is. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. There's the production right there. So 16 barracks now coming out for him as well. And at the same time, look at the Culverin just teeing off. There is no siege that is going to be able to be made up against this. But now it looks like a little bit of a push coming forward. He's got to be careful. Casper does have those Culverin in his sights. You can see that they actually do get melted quite heavily by the hand cannoneers. Hand cannoneers got to be careful. careful here, not paying attention to the men-at-arms, but just getting completely multitasked. And now we see stone walls coming out for Beastie Cutie on Casper's base. It's the reverse wall coming through now, finally picking up the relics. He puts the second one away, but at the same time, the consequence of not walling yourself up, you've walled your enemy in down towards this position. You walled your enemy in over on the left. You walled your enemy in at the front, but you failed to wall yourself in, Casper, and now you're getting punished for it. We check in with Beastie's perspective. We see that he's still doing work over on that left side. Manages to come out and find just a random set of trees that he's going to start chopping down, but it's, at the same time, he's just looking incredibly strong. He understands how to play the late game. He knows what he needs to do. He is the king of the late game when you witness this kind of stuff. Keep going to be getting all of that healing coming off as well. Look at the beautiful little heals above that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. But, yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, Casper had a plan, and Beastie Cutie just absolutely tore through it. And speaking of tearing through it, ladies and gentlemen, say goodbye to all the villagers. They're going to be trying to drop down a siege workshop here, but I tell you what, they're going to need a lot more than a siege workshop to save them today, because it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. Villagers over on the stone mine. Villagers trying to escape now. Casper heading to the depths of the map, the corners of the map. Obviously, Beastie gonna know about that. Gonna be sending units over there, surely. You can see that when it comes to his production. Where's the production going? He's sending them out to the keep. And it looks like he is moving out over towards the east of the map. And look at the control that he's just gone and taken. Outposts together with stone walls, together with keeps. He is just doing absolutely impressive stuff. He's also got through the health upgrade for his buildings, so they've all got slightly more health now, and that is subsequently reflected in the health of the stone wall. But villagers on the back here going to get picked off as well. Is he getting emplacement? He's not getting emplacements, but look at the economy coming out from Beastie Cutie. At this point in time, like, he's just chilling. He is having a great time. He is really doing okay. But now it looks like we might have a bit of a counter push coming in towards this position. Villagers waiting down here, or rather going to get picked up. Beastie not paying attention to them. Obviously, got multiple things going on. Still, we leave the front door open. Finally, some stone walls going to be coming down here in this position. At the same time, Casper going to be stone walling up over on his right-hand flank. He's down to 114 villagers, losing villagers absolutely everywhere. A massacre happening on the gold mine. There is just absolute pandemonium now in the base of Casper. These villagers, I mean, they're out on the map at this point, but at the same time, he's still failed to wall up over on this western flank. Probably wants to delete, honestly, just delete the blacksmith, stonewall that bad boy. He's stonewalling the front, but I feel like it's too little too late. You guys know exactly the reference I'm thinking of. I'm not going to repeat it for you because, I mean, I've already served its purpose, you know? And now we see that Casper, once again, going to be falling back from this position, just mass men-at-arms. The big thing for me is that, like, we just haven't seen Casper really build a beautiful mass and actually defend with it effectively. So ideally, up against a composition like this, you would want to be running crossbows, you'd want to run hand cannoneers, and you want to run spearmen. That's going to be the main thing. But now Casper going to be pushing through in this central position. At the same time, he's under attack at multiple angles. Beastie Cutie looking like he's in the zone. Casper manages to clean it up. I mean, this is his last hope. You can see he's on 156 population at the moment. Compare that over to Beastie, who's sitting on 200. He's got enough almost. He's going to have enough to build a wonder soon if he's not careful. So definitely watch out for that. But now Beastie going to be looking to move in on his enemy. You can see the surround coming in. Looks like villagers down to the south. Mangonel's going to, or rather, Trebuchet's going to get thrown away here if he's not careful. And now Beastie looking like he might be in a bit of a difficult spot, losing a lot of valuable units. These Culverin, these bad boys cost 1,000 each. Mangonel shot going to be unfolding. Beautiful shot. Lanskinek's going to be running in. So damn difficult to deal with. Lanskinek's going to be absolutely swinging to their heart's content, managing to take out majority of the infantry on the front line. The Culverin get followed all the way in underneath the keep, and all of the military here has been wiped out right now. Casper in 135 population. He's not looking pretty right now, and I tell you what, it is not looking good for him. More raids coming in, and Casper taps out. He says, good game, Beastie Cutie. Well played. I had you there in the early game. I had you in the mid game, but when it came to the late game, you reigned supreme. Well played, fellas. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.